and welcome to the Roy Rogers Riders Club.
Thrill again to the thundering hooves and cattle stampedes, barroom brawls, and shootouts of classic Western features and TV shows. Annie Oakley, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, John Wayne, and all their cowboy pals and sidekicks roam the West once more. Heroes never die on ComedyMX Channels. They just ride off into the sunset.
Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he, indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
In 1829, Andrew Jackson's era of good feeling was beginning. But in the bayou villages of Louisiana, medieval superstitions still ruled the lives of the simple Cajun people. Witches worked their spells. Ghosts wandered through the dark wilderness. Evil spirits brought fear and terror. But it was not fear that brought Jim Bowie into Opelousas that day. It was anger. Jim Bowie was mad.
Howdy, Sheriff. What brings you down here?
You came down to warn you.
Oh, what about?
Curly Lambert, this fella here, used to run this place.
Yeah?
We turned him loose a couple of days ago, and...
Why'd you do that?
Well, because he served his time. Anyway, all the while he was in the calaboose, he kept making threats against you. Said you closed him up and ran him out of town, and he's going to get you for it.
Curly said that, did he?
He's a bad man, Jim.
Well, I got something more important on my mind. My sugarcane crop. All the field hands are missing.
Curly Lambert's important, too.
Well, I appreciate you coming down here. Real decent of you.
Well, I thought you ought to know. I'll be getting along. Got to serve a paper down the line.
I said, Sheriff, why didn't he mind his own business? I had Bowie dead in my sights until he rode up.
That's where I want him. Dead in my sights. But I don't want no sheriffs killed. We'll get him some way. I'm gonna open up this place again, Red. And Jim Bowie ain't gonna stop me. You hear?
Yeah?
Madame Lundy, I want to speak to Louis.
Louis is sick, Monsieur Bowie.
Then he'll need a doctor. Let me see him.
Oh, no. Oh, no. He can see no one. Go away. He's sick.
Sick? Hello, Louis. What's the matter? Look, if I don't get my sugar cane cut, you won't have enough money to buy food. And neither will I. What's the matter with you, man? You're scared. What are you scared of? What's wrong with him?
The ghost.
The ghost? What ghost?
The ghost of Jean Battoo.
Have you seen the ghost?
No.
Well, of course you haven't. Louis, you're one of my best men. Give you a knife and you'd fight a bear. Some story about a ghost that doesn't exist and you hide in bed like a baby.
He does exist.
Yeah? What makes you think so?
I saw him.
You saw Jean Battooo, the pirate, the buccaneer? How could you see him? He's been dead about 20 years.
I saw him.
Where? Now, come on, man, tell me. You know, if my sugar cane's not cut, it'll rot in the fields. Now, tell me where you saw him.
By the bayou.
When?
Night before last. Oh, he's a big man, monsieur. He has a ring in his ear with the big boots and a pirate hat. And on his belt he has 2 pistols with a big sword. Oh, I saw him.
Well, anyone else see him?
Jean, Pierre, Baptiste. May you see him?
So that's why no one's come to work. What's that you got there? What is it? It's an amulet. Charm, isn't it? To protect you from the ghost, I suppose. Where'd you get it? Now listen to me, both of you. There's no such thing as a ghost, and even if there was, this wouldn't protect you.
Oh, you mustn't talk like that, monsieur.
Now, who told you all this rot?
Ask Pierre. Go to him. Ask him why he is not in the field.
My foreman?
Yes, your foreman. Tell him if he dares to go back to work, the others will.
Who started this story? Now, come on, tell me. It just didn't come out of thin air. Somebody started it. You tell me who started it, and I'll prove it's a lie. Hey, you there. Wait a minute. So you're the ones been scaring all my field hands with stories of Jean Battooo, just so as you could sell some fake charms.
They keep away the evil spirits.
I remember you. You're the widow Tanny, and you're her son. My father ran you two out of town more than 10 years ago. Now get out and stay out. And leave the folks here alone.
That's mine. You can't take it. Raymond! Teach him a lesson, Raymond! Raymond! Teach him a lesson, Raymond! Raymond! Kick him, Raymond! Kick him, Raymond! Come on. Raymond! Raymond!
Hey! Here, stop this!
You leave my alone!
Stop it, I said! What's this all about, Jim?
Well, the widow Tanny and Raymond here have been spreading crazy stories about a ghost.
A ghost?
Yeah, a ghost of Jean Battooo. My father had trouble with them some years ago. Now they're back and I got trouble. They've been scaring all my field hands and selling them amulets for protection. They even got my foreman frightened.
We haven't broken any law.
You sure have.
What law?
Well, scaring people. Selling fake charms. That's against the law, isn't it, Sheriff?
Well, I don't know if there's any law against it exactly, but...
Well, who's going to cut my cane exactly with them around?
Well, they ain't going to be around. Law or no law. Now, you take your boy and get back to the bias where you belong. Cause enough trouble as it is.
You hurt me. You saw him. I'm going to get even. I'm going to kill you.
Some other time, Smiley.
No, Raymond. We'll leave him to the ghost of Jean Battooo.
He's a wild one.
He's a wild cat.
Between him and Curly Lambert, you're a candidate for the Undertaker. You ought to keep off the streets for a while.
I'm glad to, Sheriff. I got to get my cane cut.
Well, if you need me, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
Get him in here.
Get who in here?
That old crone and her son. The one that just fought with Bowie. Get him in here.
Well, what if they don't want to come in here?
Get him in here.
All right, Curly.
What's the matter with you? You gone crazy?
Monsieur Bowie. It is you.
Well, who do you think it was? Jean Battooo?
That is why I shoot at you.
What made you think he was coming?
A note, monsieur. It was pinned to my door.
You and your friends must put $100 in big Oakley, or 2 days from now, I come at midnight to kill you, Jean Battooo.
That is tonight, monsieur.
Did you show this to the others, to the Lundys?
They were here when I found it.
So that's how it all started.
What shall we do, monsieur Bowie? We cannot raise $100.
You don't have to raise it. Whoever heard of a ghost needing money? What would a ghost buy with money? Corn pone and grits? Now, here, look, you must believe me. No ghost wrote this. Look, it was written by someone trying to make an easy $100.
No, it is signed, look.
Well, anyone could sign the name. Jean Battooo wouldn't object. He's been dead for 20 years. Now, come on. Back to work, huh?
No.
Come on.
No. Unless the money is paid, Jean Battooo will be here tonight. We must put the money in the hole in the big oak. Monsieur, lend us the money, please.
So if you don't put the money in the oak tree, the ghost is coming here, huh?
Yes, at midnight.
Good.
But why don't you leave me here alone?
No, I'll be back before midnight. When the ghost of Jean Battooo shows up, I'd kind of like to meet him.
Oh.
And up here, don't put any money in the oak tree, huh?
Here they are, Curly. I found them sneaking around outside of Pierre Gervais' place.
Sit down.
He said you'd give us money.
Go ahead, sit down.
All right, sit down.
Who's this Pierre Gervais?
He's Jim Bowie's foreman.
Up to your old tricks again, ain't you?
We haven't done anything.
Oh, no. You're just doing the same thing you did in Lake Huron about 6 or 7 years ago. Only there you got caught.
I just sold some charms. We gotta make a living.
Well, you did more than sell charms. You got $100 out of somebody, and they ran you out of the parish. Now, who did you send the note to this time? That's what I thought. This old witch is clever. What was the name, Bowie's foreman?
Gervais, Pierre Gervais.
That's it. Pierre. You sent the note to Pierre. And you told him if he didn't come up with $100, you'd have the ghost after him. Now, didn't you? When?
None of your business.
When? Tonight? Tomorrow night? When? You better tell me.
Tonight. At midnight. It's not your $100.
That's right. It ain't costing me anything. I just thought it was a good idea. Give him a drink, Red. Now, get out of here. Both of you.
Give me my stuff.
Come on.
Yeah. I'll buy it from you. Now, get out. Well, maybe you want me to take it out and show it to the Cajuns in the village. Open the door, Red.
Come on.
Go on. Get out.
Now we're getting somewhere.
What are you talking about, Curly?
Sit down, Red. We want to get Bowie, don't we?
Well, sure we do. But how and where?
Well, Bowie went to see Pierre, and Pierre showed him the note. The note said, if you don't come up with $100, a ghost will come and get you, right?
How do you know Pierre showed Jim Bowie that note?
Well, Pierre hasn't got $100, has he?
No.
Well, then he has to ask Bowie to put it up for him, don't he?
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, if you were Bowie, what would you do? Would you give it to him?
$100? Not very likely. I'd be more apt to tell him that there weren't no ghosts.
What then?
I guess I'd tell him that I'd be there with him at midnight when the ghost came.
You're not as thick-headed as I thought you were, Red. Yeah. Bowie will be there. The ghost of Jean Battooo will be there, and I'll be there. Whoever heard of a ghost being accused of murder? I told you I'd get even with Bowie, didn't I?
The time grows short, monsieur. I beg of you, give me the money to put in the oak.
Why, if the ghost doesn't find the money by midnight, he's coming here, isn't that right?
Yes, yes, that is the point. I do not want Jean Battou to come here. I do not wish to die.
But if he doesn't come here, how are we going to find out who's been writing those notes and frightening people? Hmm? Now, don't you worry, Pierre. Everything's going to be all right. You try and calm yourself. You're not going to die. Here, you want to borrow one of these?
No. Thank you, monsieur. No.
I do not like that man, Bowie.
Come. It will be worth something to see him killed. And after that, the Cajuns will pay.
Listen to me, all ye Cajuns! No man faces Jean Battou in this world and leaves to Tel Aviv!
I hear him.
You heard an owl.
Hello, Pierre! This is Jean Battou.
Jean Battou. Boop, boop.
You did not leave the money, Pierre.
The ghost, monsieur, he wounded you.
There was no ghost. It was a pretty solid flesh and blood man. Didn't you hear him scream when he got hit? Now, come on.
No, I'm not leaving here.
You're coming if I have to drag you.
But where is the ghost of Jean Battou?
He's on a pretty solid horse heading for Opelousas, and that's just where we're going. Come on.
Gotta get rid of these clothes.
What happened? What happened to Bowie?
He's dead.
Did you kill him?
The ghost of Jean Battou killed him. Tomorrow we take the boards off these doors and open up this place again. Get me some water and a rag.
Well, he rode into town, but he didn't ride out. He must be in some of these buildings.
But which one, monsieur?
Yeah. You ride up and down the street and attract attention. I'll look in the sheds.
Curly? Somebody just rode into town.
Well, nobody knows we're here. So they must be looking for the ghost of Jean Battou. Go in the other room. Stand by the window and watch the street. If anybody does come in, we'll get him in a crossfire.
Look at this. Real obliging of you, Curly, to keep those clothes on. Drop your cutlass. Go on. Outside. I want the folks to meet you. Pierre, tell everybody to come and meet the ghost of Jean Battou.
No way! Mrs. Lundy! Come quick, here is not the ghost! Mrs. Monsieur right there! Come quick! Let him quick!
Come here, everybody.
That's wild, isn't it? Come on. Monsieur right there!
There's no ghost.
No ghost?
There's only this man who wanted to kill me so he could open up his gambling hall again.
Now, wait a minute. That wasn't my idea.
No? Then whose was it?
It was a widow Tanty's. These are her son's clothes. He carried him around that big sack of his. He was a ghost all the time, not me.
That doesn't matter. You were the ghost tonight. Now that you all know the truth, I want you men to be in the field early tomorrow. We got cane to cut.
See you tomorrow.
But the next day, Jim rode into town mad all over again. Not a single field hand had reported for work.
We got them. Look, we find them in the bayou. Yeah, what shall we do with them?
Well, I guess lock him up with Curly till the sheriff gets here.
Good. Shooting lockdown.
Louis, I thought you were convinced that ghosts don't exist.
Oh, but monsieur, I am convinced. But what of the ghost? She is not convinced.
Oh. Yeah. Well, Pete, at least you don't believe in ghosts, do you, huh?
Adventuring man, Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie. He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fair. Jim Bowie, bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.
In 1830, Nacogdoches was a sleepy little mission town just across the border in the Mexican state of Texas. I'd been through the town before, but never stayed longer than it took to water my horse. A military execution in Nacogdoches was something new. And not one, but two.
Preparen! Apunten! Fuego!
This was very strange. But as a visiting American, it was, of course, none of my business.
¡Alto! ¿Qué hace usted aquí y qué es lo que desea?
Puede hablar un poco más despacio, señor.
An American. Then we shall converse in English. I am Capitan Hernando Sanchez of the garrison of Nacogdoches. Your name, senor?
I'm Jim Bowie. New Orleans.
You are passing through, or is this your destination? If you will pardon my asking.
I'm just passing through.
And your business?
My business happens to be my own, Captain.
This is a troubled year for my country, senor. Fear and suspicion are everywhere. If I could just but see your passport.
A passport? I didn't think I needed a passport. I never did before.
That is to be regretted. You will please come with me to the office of the alcalde.
Well, I'm not sure I want a passport, Captain. In fact, the way things seem to be around here, I'm not sure I want to stay in Texas at all.
But you are in Texas. I am desolated. But I must ask you to obey the military law, even as I must obey it.
You telling me I'm under arrest?
Permit me to warn you against violence, senor. I am myself a man of tender sensibilities. But my soldiers, they feel no pain in killing.
Well, I came to Mexico on friendly business, Captain. So I guess there's no point in getting off on the wrong foot. Lead on.
After you. De frente! Marchen! Don Ignacio, I am intruding, but it's a matter of business.
Come in, Captain.
May I present Senor Bowie, a gentleman from New Orleans. Don Ignacio Flores, alcalde of Nacogdoches.
Senor.
Gusto, señor.
His daughter, Señorita Josefa.
Señorita.
His sister, Señora Rodriguez.
Senora.
And Colonel Bradford of the Mexican Army, our military governor.
Colonel, I'm honored.
When Senor Bowie found himself in our present country without the necessary passport, he insisted on coming here to secure it.
It will be swiftly arranged.
You are the Bowie who invented the knife? I have to plead guilty to that, Colonel. Say, you're American too, aren't you?
Yes, I was born in Virginia. I'm now in the service of General Santa Anna.
Oh.
If you will step over here, Senor Bowie. If I could see your credentials, means some identification.
The last time I was in Texas, the only trouble I had was with a couple of Comanches.
Well, there's been a change of policy, Mr. Bowie. We're now trying to keep out all undesirable foreigners.
Well, I'm sure Senor Bowie he's in no way undesirable.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have a thing on me in the way of identification. Oh, wait a minute. I do have a letter from an old friend asking me to join him in Texas. I'm sure you heard of him.
I see. Of course. This will be quite satisfactory, senor.
Excuse me, Don Ignacio. This letter is from a friend?
I'm proud to say he is, Colonel.
No passport. He's under arrest.
Under arrest? What for?
What has he done?
Not for what he's done. For what he is. Spy.
I'm not a spy. I'm here to buy land.
This letter is an invitation from Sam Houston to meet him here in Texas.
That's right. He's located the land for us.
You don't know that Houston's ambition is to make Texas an independent republic with himself as president? You don't know that he's inciting American colonists to revolt, turning Mexican citizens against their own government?
Well, that's all news to me, Colonel. I never aimed to join Sam Houston in anything stronger than a drink.
Don Ignacio, this man is a professional killer. A knife fighter who consorts with gamblers, pirates, filibusterers, political opportunists.
Your reputation has preceded you, Mr. Bowie. Disarm him, Captain. I beg you to consider the presence of the ladies and of my troopers.
Please, senor.
Nobody's going to get hurt. I give you my word.
The military prison, Captain.
After you, Senor Bowie.
Senora, Senorita, my apologies.
How long are you going to let that tyrant degrade us, Ignacio?
Something must be done, Papa. This cannot go on.
Have you lost your manhood, brother?
Oh, these terrible soldiers.
Silencio. Will you please to retire?
Boy, I want Houston. You tell me where he is and you go free.
I don't know where he is.
Come now, that was a very friendly letter.
Inviting me to come to Texas, land of opportunity. Nothing more.
But you were to meet him.
I was to look him up. His movements are well known.
Unfortunately, not quite well enough. There is a price on him. Rather high one. I would be willing to pay it even to you.
I don't think I understand an American like you, or care to.
Mr. Bowie, I have not been an American since the Creek campaign of 14, nor do I care to be.
You were at the Battle of Topeka?
I was.
Well, so was Houston. Did you know him then?
We were both under General Jackson's command.
Hey, wait a minute. You're that Bradford. Houston told me a little about you.
Did he? Just what did he tell you?
He told me he was an ensign then, and that he stormed the Creek fortifications with a handful of men and got himself surrounded. And that Jackson ordered you to come to his rescue, and you refused.
Go to the aid of a glory-seeking young fool who had managed to get himself and his men hopelessly entrapped? I quite properly refused, on tactical grounds.
But the court-martial said cowardice, didn't it, Colonel? Yeah. I can understand why you're no friend of Houston's or Jackson's or any friend of theirs. Right, Colonel?
Jackson. I despise President Jackson and all his works. And I shall leave nothing undone to injure him or his country. So, Bowie, you can see it's important to me to find Houston. You have until tomorrow morning. If by then you should still prove stubborn, I will give you cause to regret it.
I'm a long ways from home. I've a long, long way to go. Gotta pack my horse. Gotta find me a star. And cross the desert ways. And cross the desert ways.
I must apologize for the humble fare, but the wine is passable.
You've come here to work on me about the whereabouts of Houston. You're wasting your time. I'm spoiling my appetite.
Would you like the return of your weapon?
Well, now, look at this. What's the price?
The assassination of our military governor. Your knife and your freedom for the death of Colonel Bradford.
I heard you the first time. I'm probably not the only one.
My guards do not speak English. And even if they did, I'm not the only Mexican who hates this tyrant. To see a man like Bradford use his military position to rob men like yourself, to humiliate his own countrymen, it is a thing to make one sick.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm not feeling too good myself.
Then you accept the honor?
I'm afraid not. Price is too high.
Oh, now, don't be modest, Senor Bowie. We know of you. With this knife, you've slain hundreds.
Is that what you heard? Let me tell you something, Captain Sanchez. I never used that knife in my life, except in self-defense.
Let me put this matter to you from a different direction. Think of it as an act of patriotism, performed in the name of liberty for your country and mine.
Let me put the matter to you from another direction, Captain. How do I know that Bradford isn't the patriot and you're not the tyrant?
You have the rest of the night to reconsider, Senor Bowie. I have orders from my colonel to flog you in the morning.
She does not cry out, nor does he faint.
Sanchez!
Basta.
Where is Houston, Bowie?
Continúa. Basta. Is there enough hate in you now, senor?
Enough for 10 men. And you're high on the list, Captain.
Your servant, Don Ignacio.
You are no servant of mine, Hernando. You are a hypocrite.
Senor.
The American was flogged, and by you.
By my orders, Don Ignacio.
You, the son of my dearest friend. You, the man engaged to my daughter.
I will relieve Senorita Josefa of the contract if that is your wish.
That is not my wish. The arrangement was made between your father and myself. Have you thought of insurrection?
I have.
Then you better think harder. The colonel asked me for the hand of Josefa.
Why, the pig? I will call him out.
No, you cannot risk it all. I'm getting old. And if you are killed, who is going to protect Josefa from those grasping, dirty hands? There must be another way.
I will find a way, Don Ignacio. I swear to this by the Holy Mother.
May God be with you.
I persevere, Bowie. Once again, where is Houston?
Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
Your final word?
No.
At dawn, Captain, you will execute him as a foreign spy.
Yes, Colonel.
When he comes to, inform him of his sentence.
Yes, Colonel.
Yes?
With your permission, Colonel, a matter of importance.
Come in, come in. Did you tell him?
I did.
Is he scared? Do you think he'll crack?
It is my considered opinion, Colonel, that you will never break this man.
He leaves me no alternative.
Colonel, permit me to differ with you. It is for this that I have come.
Differ? With me?
In your own interest, sir. Despite Senor Bowie's notorious character and infamous reputation, he does have friends in high places. To execute such a man at a time like this, it is sure to bring inquiries. Perhaps even damage your relations with General Santana.
Are you suggesting that I let him go?
There are more ways than one to kill a man, Colonel.
Suicide?
It is not in the character of Senor Bowie to take his own life. No one would believe it. But it is in his character to try to escape.
Glass of wine, Sanchez?
Thank you, Colonel. Salud.
Buenas noches, Senor Bowie.
Wine and fruit, senor, to visit Imprisonment. It is one of the 7 corporate works of mercy.
You're paying your last respects, huh? Is that what you mean?
Our visit is a work of mercy, yes. But it's also more than that. We come as friends.
You must, of course, peel the fruit before eating it, senor.
So you may continue to have a good health.
Thank you.
Tomorrow morning, 1/2 hour before your execution, a priest will visit you. When he leaves, this door will remain unlocked. In the courtyard, just inside the open gate, there will be the priest's white horse. Good luck. Guardia!
The priest is with him now and all is ready. The guards would not shoot until ordered to do so.
Good.
For an occasion such as this, Colonel, why not the hunting rifle? The gift from General Santana.
Excellent, Sanchez. Why not indeed?
With your permission, Colonel, it would please me to load it.
Well, thank you, Captain. You've become most considerate the past few days. A distinct improvement, I might add. Promotions do not come through sulking and resistance, you know.
I am learning a man can grow in many ways, Colonel, even through patience.
Now, you stick with me and you'll go far.
Always close behind you, Colonel, even to the death.
Thank you, Father.
sworn I had him. Guards! I've only to say the word, and 6 bullets will shatter your heart.
Well, what's holding you back, Colonel? Am I too close to the horse? Is that what's wrong?
Stay where you are. I'll give you another chance, Bowie. I'd still rather have Houston. You have exactly 5 seconds.
Well, you're getting monotonous, Colonel.
Wait!
Carguen otra vez, pero no disparen. A most unfortunate accident, senor, which leaves me in command of the garrison. As one, however, who has never been in complete possession of your case, I must ask you to return to your cell. Please do as I say, senor. This time, the muskets are being loaded by the troopers themselves, and they seldom make the mistake of forgetting to include the load.
Alcalde of Nacogdoches, once again in full control of civil matters, I find you, Senor Bowie, to be a man of honor and goodwill. I therefore return to you your baggage, your arms, and your gold, together with this passport.
Well, thank you, sir. And if I'm to buy land in Texas, I have to become a Mexican citizen. Is that right?
This is the law, senor.
Well, I'll think about it.
We are sorry your visit in our town was not more pleasant.
There's more to life than just pleasure, Senorita. And my visit here has been a rich and rewarding one.
You will love Texas, Senor Bowie, and Texas will love you.
Thank you. Best wishes, Don Ignacio.
Adios, senor. Buena suerte.
I will take you to your horse.
Hello, Pete boy.
I wish to thank you for all you have done for me.
Seems to me I'm the one should be thanking you, Captain.
No, senor. My country and I lost a bad friend, but gained a good one. Without you, nothing would have changed.
Well, I'll be seeing you again soon.
Yes, on the 5th of May, the day of my wedding to Senorita Josefa.
Oh, congratulations. Say, what makes you so sure I'll be back then?
That is the day your passport expires. You must be here to renew it.
Goodbye, Captain.
Adios, amigo.
Sometime, somewhere, I know we will meet again.
And here's the star of our show, Scott Forbes.
Hello. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And that you'll be with us next week for another adventure in the exciting life of Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie, Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man. Jim Bowie, battled for right with a powerful hand. His blade was tempered and so was he. Indestructible steel was he. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man. He roamed the wilderness unafraid, from Natchez to Rio Grande. With all the might of his gleaming blade, he fought for the rights of man. Jim Bowie, he was a fighter, a fearless and mighty adventuring man.